You've inspired me, Steve. To the night in baseball. Phillies, Braves, third batter of the game. Now, you know, Escobar led off with a home run against Brett Myers, and then here comes Chipper Jones, 397th of his career, passing Joe Carter for 46th all time. Hey, Philly fans, look, a Joe Carter mention. Oh, goodness. 2-0. Bottom 8, Phil's down 8-4 when the big man fills thine horn with oil, and Vargos, his 8th of the season. The Phillies trail 8-5. Top 9, same numbers. Chipper swinging, missing. Yikes. Seems like maybe just a little tightness or some soreness, but that's all right. He's a hockey player. He stays in the game. He'll be fine. Bottom 9, Phillies winning run at the plate. Shane Victorino flies out deep to right to end the game, and the Braves will hold on to win 8-6 and get Tom Glavine his first win of the season.
Look at a sweep 3 from the first place Marlins. Florida entered the 9th down 6-zip, made it 6-3. Francisco Cordero not exactly shutting the door. Cody Ross, get out of town, 3-run shot off Cordero. A 6-run 9th inning for Florida. We're tied. The Reds had been the only team in Major League Baseball without a blown save. Had been, past tense. 10th inning we go. 2 out runners on first and second. Paul Janisch hitless in his only career at bat. So when was the last time a Major League hitter got his first Major League hit as a walk-off? May of '05, the Reds pitcher Randy Kiesler threw a drawn-in infield in the 14th inning. Back to Wednesday night. Here's Janisch. A true single down the right field line. The pinch runner, Johnny Cueto, who's a pitcher, comes in to score. Cool story, cool ending. Did you think in a million years you'd ever hear a Steinbrenner say the Yankees have to play more like the Rays? Ooh, exactly. Mike Messina was on the hill. Jason Bartlett, the grounder. Nice play by Giambi to flip to Messina. Hank Steinbrenner said Tampa Bay is a hungry team. That's what our team has to get back. Yankees bullpen came on huge. Bottom of the 7th, 2 on and 1 out. Ross Ollendorf gets Gabe Gross to line out Derek Jeter for the double play. Jabba Chamberlain facing B.J. Upton gets him swinging in the bottom of the 8th, ends the inning and the threat. And then Mariano Rivera in. He gets Cliff Floyd to ground out the Jeter to end it. The Yanks win. They snap the Rays franchise record 11-game home winning streak.
Red Sox Orioles, the nation in danger of being downgraded to merely a province. 3 straight losses, dropping them out of first place. Bottom 4. Orioles down 1-zip, 2 on for Kevin Millar, and he knocks John Lester around. No, Manny Ramirez there to make the catch. The wall, and as he jumps up there, well, look at this again, because Manny is interacting with the people. They're going to double off Aubrey Huff. And look at Manny, got it, and then we just go over there. Yeah, high five for the people. He's a man of the people. He checks it out there with the team on the replay. Excellent. And then he shows Big Papi how he did that. See? And when you do that, I think you can stand there and admire home runs. If you're a man of the people, go ahead. In the 7th, the bases are chucked. Jay Payton off Hideki Okajima, the money ball. 3rd home of the season, 4th career grand slam, and the Orioles are up 6-3, top 8. Manny then grounds to 3rd. Huff makes the grab over to first. Manny, he's called out, and he's not happy. You notice he's not going to get ejected, but he's also not high-fiving the ump in this situation. The Orioles will hold on to win it 6-3.
Lackey making his season debut for the Angels against the White Sox. He's been sidelined since late March with a strained right tricep. Lackey had no issues striking out people in the 2nd and the 4th and the 7th. Let's go to the 8th. Scott Shields facing Orlando Cabrera, and he grounds a shot to the left side. Eric Ibar overthrow, and the runners move to 2nd and 3rd. After A.J. Brzezinski is intentionally walked to load him up, Carlos Quentin steps to the plate and deposits the Shields offering over the fence in left center. How about a grand slam? Quentin becomes the first American League hitter to 10 home runs, first career grand slam.
A's and Indians. Cleveland starters all throwing the ball like Sandy Koufax. Oakland starter Joe Blanton, 2-0 on the road, 0-5 at home, but here he's got some road troubles. Grady Sizemore leading off with a home run, his 7th of the season, 14th career leadoff homer, so it's 1-zip there. Now, Indians starting rotation, a streak of 34 1/3 scoreless innings as CC Sabathia took the ball and just mowed down Frank Thomas. We go to the 9th. We got one. Thomas is not happy, so we're just going to go to the 9th. 1 out, A's down 2-zip. Thomas hits one high, hits one deep. Isn't going to make him any happier. David DeLucci is there to haul it in. Close call, still no runs. And then Sabathia, no trouble with Emil Brown. He goes 9 innings, no runs, 11 Ks, out number 27 as the Indians win at 2-0. So Sabathia's shutout extends the scoreless inning streak by the Indian starters to 43 1/3. That is the longest streak by any team starters since the '94 Orioles. That staff led by Mike Mussina, Ben McDowell, and Jamie Moyer. And I believe Moyer's still working hard in this game. Indians haven't had a streak this long since 1948 when Bob Lemon was on the staff, and so was Satchel Paige.
Old school. Only one AL team has never beaten Roy Halladay, Boo Bonser, and the AL Central leading Twins would give it another shot. Bases loaded in the top of the first off Bonser. That was a night for grand slams. Matt Stairs gets into the act. That's his 6th home run of the season. As for Halladay, celebrating his 31st birthday on Wednesday, and trouble on his birthday with runners on 2nd and 3rd. Strikes out Justin Morneau. Halladay 6 2/3, 8 strikeouts. Runners on 1st and 2nd when Brad Wilkerson hits the line to left. Shannon Stewart scores. Jays hang on to win 6-5.
Padres Cubbies, Leon Durham not in Chicago's lineup. Jake Peavy chucking it for San Diego. Bottom first, no score. Alfonso Soriano, get out. It's over the ivy-covered wall. Yeah, see Springs out there in Chicago. The ivy's looking great. Soriano's 46th career leadoff homer. It's 1-zip. Ted Lilly then strikes out swinging. Josh Bard drops the ball, so Lilly's going to reach base on a wild pitch. And then he, on the other side, struck out 11 Padres, so he wasn't very nice at all. Soriano then singles after the inning is kept alive. Kosuke Fukudome, Reed Johnson will score. The Cubs take a 3-0 lead, and the Cubs will win the game by a count of 8-5. The Cubbies, the cream of the NL Central.
Rockies swept the Diamondbacks in last year's NLCS, but so far this regular season, Arizona's beaten Colorado in 6 of 7. Michael Owings in some trouble. Bases loaded with 2 outs for Brad Hopp. Well, he didn't hit a grand slam. Hopp grounds out to end it. Owings out of the jam. Owings has reached base in every game that he started this season. He's at bat in the bottom of the 3rd. Can't get around on the fastball on a 1-2 count. Frozen on the breaking ball and takes strike 3. He went 0 for 3 in the game. Orlando Hudson with 2 on and 2 out. That's a 2-run double. Diamondbacks up 4-zip. Hang on to it 4-3. Owings scatters 5 hits and 6 scoreless. Improves to 5-1. Even
Get to 500 for the season. That's impressive because 10 days ago they were 12-19. Adam LaRoche, the plate, high fly, center field. Rick Ankiel's playing center field. He's going back at the wall, and that will not be a home run. That will be an excellent catch. And my guess, a very good nominee for top place. Top 4, 2-0 Cards. Nate McLeod lines the pitch to right. Now you saw Ankiel go back. This is Ryan Lutwood coming in, and he makes an excellent grab as well. Albert Pujols reaches base for the 41st consecutive time, and the Cardinals win this one by a count of 5-1. Defense saves runs. Mariners Rangers. Texas a chance to sweep the series. Drops Seattle even deeper into the AL West cellar. 3-3 game in the 8th. Brandon Boggs line drive to right. Vladimir Ballantine makes the catch. A lot of guys making excellent grabs here. We're still tied at 3. We go to the 12th with 2 outs. Miguel Cairo singles up the middle, and Ballantine will score. The Mariners are up 4-3. Who's closing it? How about starter Jared Washburn? 254 career starts. Just his 11th relief appearance, and looky there, he gets his first career save. Michael Young flies out to end the contest. Mariners, they avoid the sweep. 4th. Go back out to the diamond. Nationals, Mets. Moises Alou has been smoking since coming off the DL. 11 for 23 in his last 5 games. Tim Redding strikes him out, and now Alou is hot in a very different manner. Dana DeMuth will run him. That's it for you. Now, Aaron Heilman came in relief and was booed because he's been sort of like a kid with matches, not exactly a fireman. He's allowed 6 of 8 inherited runners to score, and more trouble there. Elijah Dukes will score on the Jesus Flores. And 5-3, the Nationals will win, and Heilman, I believe, is out of the will.
Dodgers trying to avoid a 6th consecutive loss. Manny Parra is winless in his last 6 starts. Works out nicely. Here in some trouble, the Dodgers down 4-1. Mark Sweeney towards first. Prince Fielder mishandled it and then couldn't get the tag on him. Dodgers pull within 2. Parra 6 2/3, 3 runs, only 1 of them earned. Dodgers down 4-3. Juan Pierre doubles a 2-run double off Guillermo Mota. And the Dodgers, their first lead of the game. Mota, not Eric Gagne, blows the save for Milwaukee. And the Dodgers do snap that pesky 5-game losing streak.
Astros and Giants, 2 words. Yeah, there he is. Big Puma. Lance Berkman, 26 hits in his last 40 at-bats. It's tied for the most hits in the expansion era over a 40 at-bat span, and he's not done yet. He's hurting Pat Mann. Darvish, two-run shot, his 14th, 3-0 Stros. It's 3-3 in the 7th. Miguel Tejada getting Thursday off, his first day of the year, but not before finishing off the Giants Wednesday. The single there scores Jose Cruz Jr. Astros are going to win at 6-3. Tejada 3 for 5 and a couple of RBIs. But he's no big Puma. Lance Berkman has hit safely in 13 straight games and doing much more than just hitting safely. In the lusty month of May, he's batting nearly 600, 6 homers while driving in 15 and scoring 17 runs, and he has the coolest nickname in baseball right now, the Big Puma. All right, let's go to SportsCenter's top plays. We don't usually get Big Puma. Sometimes we get a squirrel, get a monkey riding a dog and stuff. Number 10, Fred, Padres, Cubs. Fonsa Soriano, broken bat, pop-up. Jake Peavy giving effort. Effort's the key to success. Padres lost it.
Number 9, Jazz and Lakers from Game 5. Pau Gasol, the great bounce pass to Lamar Odom for the jam and the freebie. Lakers win it 111-104. They protect their home court.
Number 8, UEFA Cup final, Rangers versus Zenit St. Petersburg. Andre Arshavin passes it through the legs of the Rangers defender to Igor Denisov, who puts it home. St. Petersburg wins the UEFA Cup 2-0.
Impressive there. Cavs and Celtics. Kevin Garnett, nice pass to Paul Pierce. And in this one, the home team won.
Number 6, hockey, World Hockey Championship.
Back to the point. Stralman, Nelichka gives up a rebound, loose puck, he scores! The Swedes have won it in overtime.
Now, when did they play the Red Wings?
That's the next round.
Next round, okay.
Number 5, Nationals and Mets. Willie Mo Pena, soft ground to the third. David Wright, bare hand in the throw. And baseball, and unlike the NBA, the home team lost in this game.
Number 4, Yankees Rays. Yarner Navarro, liner up the middle off the glove of Derek Jeter into center field. Cliff Floyd trying to go to third in the play, but Melky Cabrera hoses him down. Well played. Whee! You're out. Go back to the dugout.
You went holes over seed.
Yes.
Number 3, Red Sox Orioles. How was Manny not number 1? Must be a good number 1 and number 2. Manny makes the grab, goes back, a high five for the fan, and then he could enjoy it with his teammates.
Well, he's got to do that because, you know, at home he never can jump that high. Number 2, Marlins Reds in the 10th.
Into right field, base hit. Paul Yadish, in his major league debut, provides a game-winning hit for the Reds.
How about that?
Reds needed that, too. They were up 6-0
Right. You know, you're right about Manny and left at Fenway. It's
so much harder.
37 feet 2 inches or something like that. Adam LaRoche, the high fly ball, and Rick Ankiel going back. And he would have thrown somebody out at home plate if he had. This guy is in a groove. Lincecum entered the game third in the National League with 53 strikeouts. For example, Michael Bourne at the top of the first. Then, further example, Hunter Pence. Top of the 4th, Astros were down 6-0 already. Second and third for Berkman. The guy went 7 for 15 in the series. You know, that's right around 500. Runs scored. Houston trails 6-2. I'm using them all tonight.
Yeah.
Astros down 7-3. Runners in the corners. Lincecum strikes out Berkman to get out of the jam. The old ball boy showing his approval. On pitch 105, his last of the game against J.R. Tolles. How about 97 miles an hour? Lincecum, 6 innings, 10 strikeouts. Tyler Walker was on in relief. Darren Erstad, the crush job, gets over the wall. First career pinch hit home run for him. And here's the man of the week, the season, Berkman off Vinny Chulp. The first splashdown home run by an Astro ever. 16th ever by a Giants opponent. Berkman has
Just me. Diamondbacks, Rockies. Brandon Webb finished strong last year, great this year. 12-0 in his last 13 starts dating back to last season. Here, Matthew Thomas Holliday, middle name's named after his daddy, Tom Holliday, famous pitching coach here at Oklahoma State. Double play, inning over. Webb had both pitches working. The one they were looking for and the one to cross them up. Brad Hopp went down, Chris Iannetta. And then top third, first batter, Chris Baker, not a money maker. Webb 7 1/3, 8 Ks, 3 earned. We go to the 5th, D-backs up 1-0. Runner on second for Steven Drew. Doubles to center off Aaron Cook. Chris Young will score. Drew 4 for 5. Now he failed a homer, which is really the only mark he had against him in this one. He reached base 5 times. Top 9, D-backs up 8-5. There's 2 on. Brandon Lyon to Holliday. A home run would have tied this thing. Ground out to third. That'll end this thing. The D-backs take it back.
to the ballpark. sort of. It's in Tampa, St. Pete. Scott Kazmir in his first start after signing a 3-year, $28.5 million deal. Going to pitch 6 shutout innings. Got some nice defense there from Evan Longoria on Johnny Damon. The Rays have never been alone in first place for 3 consecutive days. They were trying to do that while sending the Yanks to the cellar.
Everybody needs some alone time.
Bottom of the first, Akinori Iwamura off Ian Kennedy. That's Iwamura's 3rd career leadoff home run. Bottom of the 4th, Rays up 2-zip, 2 outs, runner on. Sean Riggins, a rocket job. His 3rd home run in just 15 games. The Rays up 4-0. Kennedy fuming. The Yanks are just 13-20 in games not started by Chin-Ming Wang. And the Rays, they've won 12 of their last 13 at home. Don't adjust your television sets. These are the actual American League East standings through Thursday. Yes, the Rays are in first place, and yes, the Yankees are in last place. New York hasn't been in last on May 15th since 1975.
I think those are upside down. Nationals and Mets, keep your fingers crossed for Mike Pelfrey. Well, he's the 40th Mets pitcher to make it through 6 innings without allowing a hit. 7th inning, first batter, Aaron Boone, and the Mets still now without a no-hitter in their history. Pelfrey, though, 7 2/3, 3 hits, 1 run, 4 Ks. Quality start. Bottom 8 no outs, Mets down 1-zip. Luis Castillo lays down a sac bunt. Third baseman Ryan Zimmerman fields it. Shortstop Christian Guzman covers second. Jose Reyes says, well, there's nobody at third. So he takes off over there, but Guzman hustling, gets in the way, gets the tag. The Mets can't take advantage of Reyes' leadoff hit. They still trail 1-zip. Bottom 9, Ryan Church, fly ball to left, John Roush. Willie Harris makes an unbelievable diving catch. Look at that. Now that is laying all out to get an out, 1 away. Next batter, Carlos Beltran. Now on third, Carlos Delgado. Carlos lines out, and we're going to double up Beltran. The game is over, and the Nats win it 1-0. He had a Pats hat on. They thought it was part of Spygate, actually. All right, Billy used to get mad at his teammates when he was in Philly, too. Fights facing the Braves. Ryan Howard, the big man. Oh, and a big hit. 9th homer of the season. Look at the size of that. 425 feet. Shane Victorino. Pedro Feliz also homered for the home team. Cole Hamels, career night. Mark Teixeira goes down swinging. You know, Escobar, he missed. That's filthy. Top 9 Phillies up. 5-zip man on first. Teixeira. Ball over to Jimmy Rollins. Whoa, hello, 6-4-3 double play. Knocks him down, but that's all right. Rollins is pleased about that. We're all good. Hey, I'm an MVP. Next batter, Brian McCann. It's over. Hamill, 6 Ks, his first career shutout. Phils win at 5-0.
2.5 seasons as Cub teammates. Maddox the Padre, possibly making his last ever start at Wrigley. Bottom of the 5th, no score runners in the corners. And here's Ryan Dempster. The pitcher's a hitter. That's an RBI single. That's Dempster's first RBI in 6 years. The Cubs had a 1-0 lead. Cubs up 2-zip, first and second. Derek Lee doubles to the gap in left center. That's going to score 2 runs. Lee was 0 for 9 in the previous 2 games at 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Maddox, by the way, pulled after 4 1/3, allowed 4 earned, has lost 4 of his last 5 decisions. As for Dempster, much more than just an RBI machine. He improves to 5-0 at home. The Cubs are 17-7 at Wrigley. Ryan Dempster went 8 1/3, career high 12 strikeouts. Padre hitters struck out 29 times the last 2 games.
Dodgers Brewers, the crew spent $45 million Thursday to lock up second-year slugger Ryan Braun for 8 years. He's going to do that more, but he also hit a lot of home runs. Billingsley, 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Top 7, no score. Ben Sheets, though, runs into trouble. Andrew Jones connects. That's right, Andrew Jones connects. Second homer of the season. Dodgers lead 1-zip. A couple of batters later, Jeff Kent. Man, he can still swing a mean bat. Behold the power of cheese. It's 2-0. Still in the 7th, 3-0. Runners on the corners, Gary Bennett. Oh, he's going to double that score right there. Don't drink and slide, says Bernie Brewer. First of the season, Sheets gives up 6 earned, 3 homers in the 7th. Dodgers win at 7-2. Bennett finishes with 4 ribs on the day.
White Sox visiting the Angels. John Garland making his first start against the team he won the 2005 World Series with. And in case you couldn't tell, it was 70s night at the old ballpark. Look at young Sparky. And it's Greg Brady.
Oh, Lord.
Barry Williams, the actor, he sang the national anthem. A.J. Przinsky
E. Davis
drives a shot down the right field line, scores Juan Uribe. The Sox had a 3-2 lead. Garland, 6 innings, 3 earned. Garrett Anderson chops the ground, and Joe Creedy can't handle it. In any era, that's an error. Creedy, his 8th error of the season, had only 4 all last season. Jim Tomey off K-Rod. The shot scores Brzezinski. White Sox hang on a win on 70s. A's trying to score against the Indians, which would be something considering Cleveland's starting pitchers not allowed to run in 43 1/3. Longest such streaks as the Orioles staff 34 years ago. Rob Bowen swinging bunt. Aaron Laffey throws it away. The scoreless streak over on an unearned run by the starting pitcher. Laffey would settle down. Jack Cust, the hopper, and Jamie Carroll. That's a 4-6-3 double play. Laffey went 7 innings, no earned, and 6 strikeouts. By the way, you remember that Orioles staff 34 years ago? Palmer, Cuellar, McNally, and Grimsley. Oh, yeah. Rafael Betancourt into close. Nowadays, I mean, that's a brutal phrase, into close. It never happens. The walk there, Eric Wedge pulls Betancourt, puts in Masa Kobayashi. Kobayashi gets Mike Sweeney on the strikeout, then gets Ryan Sweeney as well. Indians complete the 3-game sweep.
Right. Pirates, Cardinals, Redbirds just 3-7 in the last 10. Doug Minkiewicz, third base for the Pirates. Once upon a time, first baseman, you'll recall, for the Red Sox. A nice catch there, and oh, look, he gave the ball back. Good for him. He was not done. Jason Isringhausen came in to pitch in the 8th.
Also funny every time.
Game tied at 5, 2 on. Pinch hitter Jason Bay. That's in a bullpen right there. You get, that's a home run. Pirates take an 8-5 lead. Bottom 8, more Minkiewicz. Skip Schumacher lines the third. Minkiewicz, that's M-I-E-N-T-K-I-E-W-I-C-Z if you're spelling it home. Pirates win 11-5. Minkiewicz also 3 hits, 3 runs, and he walked twice. Set time again, number 10, Fred, college baseball, number 1, Miami, number 2, North Carolina. Yonder Alonso with the opposite field grand slam. You know where he hit it? Yonder. His 17th of the season. It's a Midwestern term. I don't know if you knew that.
He's never heard that before.
Yonder, along with Mess and Russell, those kind of things.
At number 9, the Padres Cubs, Henry Blanco. Little flare to center, Jody Garrett coming on. The dive straight ahead of you, forward, very tough to make that play. Padres make the catch, lose 4-0.
Number 8, Hornets Spurs, Game 6. They're going to have a Game 7. That's why it's number 8. Chris Paul alley-oop to Tyson Chandler. The Hornets lose, but again, headed back to New Orleans.
Yeah, I like the home team, by the way, in Game 7. At number 7, NASCAR Pit Crew Challenge. Brian Vickers' crew taking on Denny Hamlin's crew. You got to change 4 tires, fill the car with gas. You know how expensive that's going to be? Pushing 40 yards across the finish line, and it would come down to a photo finish. Vickers' crew wins. They collect $70,000.
Pushing it if it has gas in it. Number 6, Blue Jays twins. Scott Roll on the chopper up the middle. Brendan Harris, the diving stop, flips to second just in time for the force. Wow, rolling. Fielder's choice.
At number 5, staying right there, it's Roland getting his revenge. The diving backhand on the liner by Matt Tolbert. Blue Jays win 3-2.
Not that flattering, really, by you. Number 4, Braves Phillies. Mark Teixeira shot towards Jimmy Rollins, who's on his rump, but still, it's the 6-4-3 double play started. Phillies win 5-0. Cole Hamels' first career shutout. Look at Jimbo. J-Roll. That's how the kids say it.
Right. Didn't need Brad Lidge in that game.
No.
I saw that covered. Number 3, playoff hockey. Penguins Flyers. Danny Briere from point-blank range, and Marc-Andre Fleury denies him. But the Flyers won the game. Game 5 Sunday back in the Burgh.
Number 2, college baseball. Arkansas, Mississippi State. Chase Levitt with the full Superman catch. Oh, yeah. That deserves a pig suey. If they were in Fayetteville, I think they were in Starkville, but Arkansas lost.
Good catch there. Good catch here at number 1.
A long run for Harris toward the line, diving, and he made a brilliant. Oh! What an incredible play by Willie Harris to take an extra base hit away from Church. That's the first out of the bottom of the 9th.